Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brooklyn and this is Brooklin's Library. Today we are going to be going over the books and everything else that I have read, consumed, done. We're just highlighting my Q1, basically. If you don't know what Q1 is, quarter one, the first 3 months of the year. 12 divided by 3 is 4. 3 is 3 months. 3 is a 1/4 of 12. If you don't know what I'm talking about with 12, it's 12 months in the year. That's not me talking down to you guys. That's just me letting you know in case you didn't know, because some people maybe don't know, and that's fine. I just want to break it down for you so you're not in the dark, you feel me? Exciting news, but also kind of tragic news. I read my favorite books, probably my top 3 books of 2025 in January, back to back. The first 3 books that I read this year. So if you guys want to know what those are, make sure that you stick around to the end, because I want everyone to read these books because they're amazing. But for the books, we're going to be going to least favorite to most favorite, and I only have 13 books to talk about because I only read 13 books this year so far, and that's fine. That is fine, because I'm not trying to rush. I'm just trying to enjoy my life, okay? Period. Okay, hello. A moment for the YouTube journal. My bestie, my friend, she got this for me for my birthday. We love. It was in a pack of 3. I think she got it from Barnes & Noble. I don't know. I'm practicing mindful DNFing, okay? So one of these books I will be going back to. Another one of these books, I said, frick you, I'm not going back. I so far DNF 2 books this year. Okay, very helpful note that I wrote to myself is don't forget to summarize the book, because that is the most issue that I have, is that I never be summarizing these books for you guys, okay? So the first book I DNF'd is a soft DNF, and no, I'm not going to summarize this one because this one's a part 2, okay? Iron Flame. I soft DNF'd Iron Flame. I will be going back to it. It's only because I was just not in the headspace or the mindset to be reading a very thick fantasy book. No, I was not. But I do be wanting to go back and finish reading it, because this is my wife's favorite series of all time, she says. So I want to, of course, enjoy that with her. So there's that. So the next book that I said, no, fuck you, I'm DNFing this book, is called Bad Man by Dathan Arbach, is how I think that you pronounce his name, okay? So this is his other book. One of his books is a really popular creepypasta type situation book. This book is about the main character. I'm going to say the main character and the main character's brother, because I do not remember their name. I have a terrible time with remembering names as of late, as of forever, actually. So our main character, the teenager boy, whatever. So in the present time, okay, he's 20 years old, okay? Let's throw it back to 5 years ago when he had a 4-year-old brother, okay? Their mom was at work and left a grocery list for them to go pick up at the store while she's at work, so she can make her food or the food or whatever when she comes home. So they go to the store, and then at the store, the little brother gets snatched, okay? And so the main character is searching for the brother, blaming himself, saying, what the heck is going on? Where's my bro? There's no trace of him at all, and everything like that. But fast forward to present time, where he's 20 years old, and he gets a job at that same grocery store that his little brother got snatched, okay? And he's still searching for his little brother to this day, because the police, nobody can figure out what's going on, what happened to this little boy's brother. And you would think that this was an interesting, good book, okay? I was reading this book for 2 weeks straight. Every morning I was reading it. I was sat up in this chair every morning, 6 a.m., reading this book. And then I said, actually, I don't ever want to read this book again, okay? So what did I do? I go on Reddit, reddit.com/what the fuck happened in this book, okay? Well, I was about to spoil the whole book, so never mind. I recommend you not read this because everything about this book was misleading, and I don't trust it. And I'm glad that I did not finish reading this book. No offense, Nathan. I'm sure that you will be having better books come out of you. Let's hope. Okay, so that was a DNF, and I'm glad that I finished it because the end kind of pissed me off, and I was like, the title was misleading. Anyways, so we're moving on to our 2-star areas. So this book was recommended to me by a subscriber. Chris, if you're watching, thank you so much for suggesting me to read this book. While I did rate it like a 2.75, it's really okay. Like, I'm not mad. I'm not like stressed, anything. Like, I'm glad actually. And actually, I was thinking about this book in the car literally today, and I was thinking, wait, did I actually did I like that book actually? I don't know. But this book is by Baby, and this is by Carola Lovering, I think. I cannot read my own handwriting for real. So, Billy and Cassie were best friends growing up. However, now they have a strained relationship. Cassie is a clothing store owner and Instagram influencer, and pretty much that is Cassie's whole thing, okay? And then she has a daughter, and she's like obsessed with her daughter. She's always on that motherfucking phone, taking pictures of that baby, posting pictures of that baby, posting her life and everything. And like, she's so obsessed with doing that. And it's kind of annoying, to be honest. And then one day, girl, how you accidentally snatch your baby, I don't know. One day, Billy accidentally snatches this girl's baby, and that causes a whole thing. That was just pretty much what the whole book was about. The whole book was pretty much about their tension, and then we had flashbacks to the past and what happened in the past and everything like that. But I don't know. I just like, I felt like there was so much potential, and I really wanted there to be more of a reason behind the snatching of the baby, and I wanted there to be more malicious intent and everything, but it was just like, it fell very flat for me. All of the reasonings and everything that happened in the book was just kind of flat, and I wanted there to be a more satisfying ending. However, there was not. For me, you guys could like this book, but it's fine. I'm not judging you. Like, I totally understand how you like this book because of the obsessive and toxicness there is around the friendship of the two. That, yes. And like, even I do like the obsessive trope and everything, but I kind of wish there was like a little bit more to it. And so the next set of books that I'm going to be mentioning are my 3-star reads. I read something that highly anticipated this year, Magnolia Parks. I buddy read this with Angel from Angel Can't Read. Or is it Angel Can Read? It's Angel Can't Read. Okay, we had literally a whole conversation about this. We read Magnolia Parks, and we had a live show where we discussed our in-depth thoughts on Magnolia Parks. So if you guys also want to check that out, you can. I'll link that here as well. And we had a good time reading this. She liked it more than I did. Spoiler alert. Let me just go ahead and quickly tell you what this book is about. Okay, so Magnolia is a rich socialite, and I guess BJ is also a socialite type of situation. I don't really know. It's kind of unclear what he is, to be honest, but it says he's some like photographer. I don't know. To be honest, it's not really clear what BJ does, and who really cares, you know? Magnolia and BJ used to date, and they're kind of still like in love with each other, obsessed with each other. However, BJ cheated on Magnolia, and Magnolia said, I'm not like gonna date you anymore. So Magnolia is a serial dater, and BJ is a serial fuckboy. Okay, he be banging every chick that says hello to him. Okay, and Magnolia, she be dating a lot. Okay, for me, those two don't equal the same thing. Like, okay, let me gather myself and collect my thoughts. The buddy read was fun. I was sat for the drama. If you guys enjoy messy reality TV of rich people doing not great things, and just like the drama, the mess of it all, then I highly suggest you read this book, okay? I'm finding it. uh I want to talk so much junk about BJ, okay? I don't see how the girlies are obsessive over him. I don't see it. BJ, in my mind, you can fuck right off Magnolia. You need to stand up and, like, dump him for real. Like, these two frustrated me. For what? For what? Anyways, but the author, like, she wrote really well, and I really like her writing style and everything. And I was just, though it was like not, though it caused me stressed, it was a great, fun read, and I am going to be continuing to read the series with Angel. The next one is a 3.75 Our Wives Under the Sea. Okay, I'm going to read you my summary. Marine biologist Leah goes on a research mission with her team, however, gets trapped down in the sea, under the sea, in the sea, you know what I mean, for 6 months. Mary, her wife, has been panicking ever since whilst awaiting her arrival. When Leah comes back, she's not the same person. She's quiet, distant, and weird. Mary tries to figure out what's wrong with Leah, okay? And that's the tea on that. So for this one, I really was expecting more. Though the writing was beautiful, the story was tragic. I hyped this book up so much in my mind, and that's honestly probably my bad for doing that, because I pushed this book off for so long, saying, I'm going to love this book, I'm going to love this book. I need to pick a right mind, time frame, whatever. And unfortunately, I didn't love this book, but I did like it. Would I read it again? I would kind of read it again. The wife, Mary, she kind of like, I felt for her, but also like she kind of pissed me off at the same time. And also, I need to defend her real quick for people on Goodreads who saying that Mary didn't do anything to investigate Leah's trauma. That's a lie, because Mary did stuff, okay? Mary reached out to the research center. She was calling people on the phone. She was trying to figure out what's going on with Leah. So if you wrote something like that on Goodreads, you're just wrong, and I think that you may have missed that, and you may need to reread the book, okay? Though Mary is not my girl, I do need to defend her in that way, because she did try. But for me, I feel like she didn't try enough, okay? I'll be busting on that door, banging on that door, saying, hello, won't you talk to me? I'll be upset. Like, I would, like, obviously, like, she was upset, but I don't know, me personally, I'd be yelling, screaming out, like, girl, what the fuck is wrong with you, for real? Like, I don't know. That's just me. I'm like, when somebody doesn't want to talk to me, I'm like tell me their problems. I'm like, tell me a fucking problem so we can fix it. You feel me? But not everyone is the same person, for real. Yeah, it was just pretty good. And that's it, really. Okay, and then these next two books are gonna be kind of like in the middle of 3 and 4 vibe wise, but I'm not rating them, if that makes sense. That kind of doesn't, because why am I putting it here, you feel me? But anyways, She's Always Hungry by Eliza Clark. This was my Women's Wrong Support Group book of March, and I thought it was fine. I realized that I'm not really a short story type of girl. Either I want more, or like, shut up. The stories, this was just it's like a horror type situation. Though some of the stories I was like, is this horror? I don't know. This is just like, what genre? Like, this is just like you talking at me. Like, I don't know. Some of the stories were. But I can tell you the stories that really stuck out to me was the first story about the body like mine is becoming snatched, becoming skinty. Okay, so when there's stuff like the cost. Okay, trigger warning. I think trigger warning for like eating disorders or like body image. Okay, for what I'm about to say. If you don't want to hear what I'm about to say, you can skip to after this book. Okay. When it's something as sensitive as like body image or like eating disorder or stuff like that, I really enjoy reading about that because I understand that mindset very well without going too deep into it, okay? I understand that mindset, and I understand it's like the cost of like being snatched, being skinty, like what at what cost, you feel me? So I really enjoyed the first story. Okay. And then the next story that really stuck out to me was the goth girlfriend story, because that girl, she really just like was existing. And I understand and I understand that man's but anyways, next next set of books, stories, whatever. I read Scarlet Witch 2015, Stan My Queen Wanda, yes, and Agatha My Queen. Yeah, so this was just like comics of the Scarlet Witch. It's like 1 through 7. There's 7 editions of this one. I needed more of the Witch's Road. Like, you give me a little bit of road and I want more road. Like, are you joking to me right now? Like, why are you just giving me a little sample of the Witch's Road? The Witch's Road was about 5 pages long in the 7 comic book series. Okay, that kind of like pissed me off a little bit, because I'm like, why would you even say anything about the Witch's Road if you only gonna give me about 5 pages of it? Like, please, 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 I beg, give me more road, give me more Agatha. Okay, Agatha was a ghost in this, and she was an old lady too. But like, that's fine. Okay, she's always the best part. Literally, always my fave, my Stan My Queen, like mother. Yes, and it lacked some depth. I feel like a lot of the times, and this is not always for graphic novels and not always for manga for me, but for comics, kind of is, you feel me? A lot of the time I feel like comics lack a certain depth to them. I don't know if I'm supposed to like read more into it, you feel me, and like jump to kind of like my own conclusions in this. And let me know if you guys read comics and you feel the same way. But I feel a lot of the times that I'm having like a little bit of a disconnect from comics. Like with, for example, like graphic novels, like for Heartstopper, I feel like I understand those characters completely. I feel like I understand their motivations. I feel like I'm in that world when I'm reading Heartstopper. But for comics, I'm not like fully in it. But for like manga, like Junji Ito, like stuff like that, I feel like I understand I'm in it. Even like what other manga diary I read? My Hero Academia. I was in that world. I was there. I was at the UA. Yes. So yes, let me know if you guys feel that way about comics, because I don't feel that way about graphic novels and manga, you feel me? We are now entering 4-star territory. Yes, the first 4-star book that I read. Ooh, spoiler, because your girl did not say what she rated this book. Daisy hates. I read this book 4 stars. Luckily, I read it. Luckily, I liked it more than Magnolia Parks, which is why I said, well, yes, Angel, we can continue. This is about Daisy. Okay, her parents. Okay, Daisy is that girl for real, okay? Her parents were murdered when she was young. Okay, her brother Julian took care of her. He was 18, she was 8 when it happened. They were both there and saw it happen, okay? And then, so like, Julian is an art dealer, and he's head of like the mafia. Okay, period. And Daisy is a like a nurse doctor type situation, and she has to like stitch up members of the gang. This sounds kind of ridiculous, and this is like very Wattpad, very much. This is I would say this is less messy like than Magnolia Parks was. I like this way better. I thought the characters were way more interesting and more like digestible. Daisy hates because the love interest Christian, I really enjoyed Christian. I didn't mind him at all. I think he's good. I think him and Daisy will end up working well together. And then there's also kind of a love triangle, but Daisy says she would never get back with him for real. With Romeo, there was some trauma with Romeo that happened. Oh my God, I was shook. I was like, and that's her man's. Like, why is she not with him? But he's kind of an asshole for real. I didn't even say what this book was about for real. But it's part 2. You would, though this is set in the same timeline, you would need to read Magnolia Parks first before you read Daisy Hates. I do not suggest the tandem read because this will spoil the big reveal in Magnolia Parks. Okay, I'm just being salty because I didn't like the Magnolia Parks one. Julian, just say you hate women for real. And he does. The next book that I read was The Lamb by Lucy Rose, and I rated this a 4.5. This was my Women's Wrong Support Group pick for February, okay? Yes. How do I even get into what this book is about for real? So the mom in this book, was she named? I feel like she was named, but I can't remember what her name is, so I'm just going to call her the mom. The mom in this book had a daughter. The daughter's going to be referred to as the daughter. I apologize, okay? So the mom and the daughter was like in the beginning like 7, and then she grows up throughout the book. So they would bring in these people from outside, like okay. And also, side note, I was kind of confused on the timeline with this. It seemed like there was a couple things that made it seem like this book took place in the 90s, but when I was going into it, it was giving very much the 1800s to me, okay? To me. I don't, and honestly, I still don't know when this book, the time takes place, because why is somebody just walking down the road and then they come into your house? Like, wouldn't they have more sense in the 90s to not do that? Mom and the daughter would find these outsiders, they would call them strays, lead them into the house. The mom would drug them and have sex with them, and then she would eat them. Period. The daughter would eat them too, but she wouldn't be doing all that stuff. But yeah, so then one day, this fine lady comes, and then they all 3 do the taking in of the strays and the eating of the strays and stuff like that. It's just so, like, I don't know, that book was so good. The ending was tragic and, like, had a lot of a girly shook and crying, okay? Me, I didn't, but I was like, wow, I really enjoyed the end, though it was that what it was, you feel me? I'm saying a whole lot of nothing, to be honest with you. You guys need to be so proud of me, okay? We're moving on to our 5-star reads. 5-star reads, yes. Yes. You guys also start clapping now because you're going to be so proud of me. So literally so proud of me, okay? I read Gone Girl. Finally, I read Gone Girl, yes. And I buddy read this with Mimi. Hello. Thank you so much for buddy reading with this. Oh my God. Thank you so much for buddy reading this with me. Me. Well, yes. So, Gone Girl is about, in case you guys don't know, it's about my queen, Amy Dunn. She goes missing. Literally, we follow her and her husband, her no good loser husband. me like getting you guys on Amy's side. Her no good loser husband, Nick Dunn, who everyone thinks killed his wife, okay? But he's like, oh no, like, not me. I'm just a baby. I would never do that to her. and he has such a victim complex, like, but shut the fuck up, like, don't nobody feel bad for you for real. So then we just follow what happened and such. This book has the best plot twist of all time, and if you don't know anything about the plot twist of Gone Girl, like, stop what you're doing and read the book or watch the movie, because you will be shook. You'll be shook. And don't, like, somehow if Gone Girl is not spoiled for you in 2025 and you still have no idea what Gone Girl is about and you don't know the twist, like, I'm jealous of you. Like, I hate jealousy as an emotion, but that's how I feel. And I am jealous of you, and I do be hating you for that because I wish I could, if I could erase anything from my mind and read it or watch it again for the first time, it would be Gone Girl, because the execution, the build-up, everything. And this book was even better than I expected. Better than the movie? I don't know. I feel like they're kind of the same, even though I will admit that the book goes on, the audiobook even goes on for like an hour longer than the movie went on for, which was crazy. And I was like, hold up. What? But the movie also, the book also goes more in depth on Amy's personality and why she is the way that she is. And that's all I'll be saying about that, because if you're not spoiled and you're watching this video, you don't know what happens with this book, I don't want to say anything ever. Like, I'm just going to shut up, you feel me? We're getting into my top 3 books, okay? So the next 3 books are nearly almost tied, but the final book that I'm going to be talking about is the best book that I've ever read, okay? One of my top 3 books probably of 2025 is going to be Forget Me Not by Alison Derrick. Oh my god, this book is so good. When a book has me feeling for the characters, understanding the characters, knowing exactly who the characters are, wishing that I was in the aesthetic of this, and literally bawling for the characters within the first couple of chapters, yeah, that's a good book. This book is not long, but I feel like I know them, and I feel like I understand them, and I understand their motives. I understand everything about this book, okay? Like, that's what I have to say about that. This is about Stevie and Nora. They grew up in this yeehaw, homophobic town, and they're lesbians together. And they're counting down the days until they can leave the town. They have money saved up. They're basically about to leave town, right? And then Stevie gets amnesia. She's in the hospital. She wakes up. Her parents are there. She's like, oh my god. She's set back a couple years mentally, and she has no recollection of the past 3 years, okay? Who was Nora? She doesn't know who Nora is. Nora is the love of her life. She forgot her. Okay. And then Nora is like trying to help her remember along the way without being like, hello, I love you. Stevie doesn't remember coming out. She doesn't remember coming to terms with her sexuality. She doesn't remember that her and her best friends are not close anymore. She doesn't remember anything. And so Nora is just trying to help her in a non-creepy way. And it's just the way... This is first person Stevie's perspective, and the way that it's described, how Nora is like they're so close, and like Nora wants to hug her, Nora wants to kiss her in that time, because Nora's literally like in love with her, like that's the love of her life. And you just like, oh, I'm about to cry, because if this were me, I would be broken. I would literally be broken, and that's all I have to say about that. This book is so good. Like, if you want a book that's going to make you feel things, I think this is YA, or maybe it's new adult, I don't know, but if you want a book that's going to make you feel things, Read this book. And the next book, I don't own this book, but I need to change that immediately. Okay, it's We Used to Live Here. That book blew my mother freaking mind. Okay, we used to live here. Let's get into it. This couple move in to this house, and then a family of people who used to live in that house knock, knock, knock on the door. The main character was like, oh, hey, yeah, like, I don't know, maybe come on in. And so they come in, and then she cannot get these bitches to leave for real. So we go through that. This book is twisty. I enjoyed this book on surface level, but after I was finished, I was like, I need to go to ran to Reddit, search We Used to Live Here, what the fuck happened, and what the fuck is going on, because it's just one of those books like Bunny by Mona Awad that you're like, I need to think more about this, okay? I'm telling you, I was mind blown. I was like, no freaking way. This is amazing. That book is amazing. The book was written amazingly. Once you figure out what this book is actually about, that might change your brain chemistry for real, as it did mine as well. I can't really say much. I cannot really say much. Like, you're joking to me, because this book, like, if I tell you, oh, this book is this, I will ruin it for you. Well, I won't ruin it for you, because you'll be like, what does that mean? But I don't want to just say, like, this book is about this. You feel me? Because then maybe you could have figured that out yourself. The last book, okay? The best book. This probably will be my top book of, okay, you guys just saw. This will probably be the top book of 2025 for me. And I read this. This was the first book that I read in January, I think. Pen Pal by Dathan Auerbach. And that's why, throwback to the beginning of the video when I said Bad Man. Okay, this book, far better. Far better. That's the only reason why I try to read Bad Man, okay? Dude, this freaking book, if you have not read, what are you even doing? What are you even doing? Okay, so this book is sick and twisted, and it's eerie, and it's such an unsettling feeling. It's exactly like reading a Reddit book, except for instead of scrolling, you're turning the pages. I mean, if you read it on ebook, it's probably like you can probably scroll too if you have endless scroll on. So I'm just going to read the back too, because I don't want to say more than this. An attempt to make sense of his own mysterious and unsettling childhood memories, a man begins to reconstruct his past. As the games and adventures of his youth become engulfed by a larger story, he finds that forms a tapestry of unbelievable horror he never could have expected. Each chapter completes a different piece of the puzzle for both you and the narrator, and by the end of it all, you'll wish that you could forget. Wait, what? You'll wish that you could forget what he never knew. Okay, that last sentence didn't really be making sense for real. To me, I was reading this story, and it felt like, okay, imagine this, right? Sitting by the fire with a group of your friends. Maybe you're having a little drinky drink, a little adult beverage. Maybe you're roasting s'mores, okay? But then your friend, he's like, you guys, I gotta tell you guys something that I just realized about my childhood. And you're like, spill the tea. And so he starts talking like, when I was younger, we started this project in class where we sent a balloon out, and then he just starts telling you this, and then he's like, and then I didn't realize that it also connected to when I was like 10 years old, this happened, and then this tragedy happened when I was 16 years old, right in front of my face, and it had to do with the kindergarten pen pal project. Oh my god. When I tell you I believed every word, like this was my friend Dathan talking to me. Dathan, I am sorry. This was just so real and so tragic, and And like, I don't know, I'm obsessed with this book. I want to read it again. It is just like, it made, okay, and honestly, it made like the big reveal made my stomach hurt. I was like, oh my god, that is intense, that is scary. I recommend you read this like when it's dark, maybe when it's foggy, so you can get the full vibes. Like when the weather is like this, when it's dark, Halloween time, like this book is just so good. And it's like so creepy, and it yeah, if and it also, please let me know if you have plans to read this book, or if you have any thoughts, if you have read this book and you have any thoughts on it at all. Please let me know. I really want to do, oh my god, I keep forgetting to make the freaking Breaking Dawn video for you guys. Oh my god. Anyways, I really want to do a very in-depth video on this book like I did for Twilight, except for Breaking Dawn, and that's really my bad. I don't want to say, oh my god, I love this book so much, because that would make me sick and twisted. But this book is very good. I will say that. It was a 5 stars. It's probably a 6-star book for me. And honestly, criminal. Because so I just filmed the podcast episode. If you guys are not tuned in to Brooks Banter, like, tune in. Hello. I just filmed the podcast episode about the god tier, like, books and stuff. And I can't believe I didn't even mention Pen Pal. Like, it didn't even cross my mind. Am I good? Okay, so that's the end of the books. But I just want to mention a couple things that, you know, I'm like watching, listening to, etc. So I think that will be kind of fun for a wrap up. I played Resident Evil 7. Well, my wife played Resident Evil 7. I helped. So, Resident Evil 7. And I played Resident Evil 8. The story for these were so good. The games were so good. If you guys are into horror games, like, check it out. And I know you guys, like, some of you are gamer girlies, but you always ask me the same question. Is it hard? Yes. Yes. These are difficult. Kind of. You can change it to easy, but I still do be dying on easy though, for real. Also, I didn't put this on the list, but I played Silent Hill 2, the remastered version. Oh my god. I almost, because that game stressed me out. I saw somebody on YouTube talking about that game, talking about like, there's not as many jump scares in Silent Hill 2 as there are in Resident Evil. I said, are you good? You're lying to me. That game was scary. That game jump scares. That game made me almost go insane. Would I play that again? Probably in a couple of years. I'm not going to be playing it anytime soon. Did I enjoy that game? Well, yes. And then I played Cult of the Lamb, which is this poster back here. So cute. It's like kind of like a cutesy horror game. You're a lamb. I didn't even explain to you what the other stuff is about. I want to say, if you guys know, you know. Now, I'm playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Okay, if you guys have a Switch, at me, okay, period. If you are playing Hello Kitty on the Switch, please let me know so you can come to my island. So you crash on an island, but you make the island cutesy, and then you bond with the not the villagers, because that's Animal Crossing. I'm gonna call them the villagers anyway. You bond with the villagers, and then you have visitors from like Cinema Roll's whole family. They visit, and then Hello Kitty's family visits, and you have to set up these cabins for them, and it's cute. There's little itty bitty puzzles, and you unlock different areas. And then I'm currently working on Resident Evil 1 remastered, starting from the beginning. I don't know why I'm rolling my eyes. I literally brought this upon myself. And for watches for TV, I don't even remember if I finished a series this year. I don't know. Movies, I watched probably like 2 movies this year, for real. So I'm in the middle of, I'm almost done, and I'm really sad that I'm almost done watching Parks and Rec because I'm trying to take it so slow, but I should just finish it at this point. Anyways, I'm rewatching Parks and Rec for the first time. The last time that I watched Parks and Rec was when it was airing. A long, long time ago. Parks and Rec is a mockumentary about the parks department in a small town, and the studio came out. Amazing show. Amazing show. There's only 3 episodes right now. If you guys have Apple TV, I highly suggest it because it's funny. The camera, the shots, oh my god, so good. It's very cinematic. It's very it's funny, cinematic. And I don't know, obviously I'm not in the film industry, but it feels very real. I'm planning on watching Severance. I know. You girlies have told me to watch Severance so many times. Don't worry, I'm trying. I'm going to watch it. I'm terrible at watching stuff right now because YouTube is all that I want to watch. Anyways, I'm tired. So, if you made it this far, leave the hamburger emoji because I just had a veggie burger before filming this and I need water. And I hope that you guys have an amazing night. And let me know all of your thoughts. Please let me know if you've read any of these books. Please. Please let me know if you're planning on reading Pen Pal, or if you have read it, or if you have any thoughts about it at all. Please, I beg. Okay. Thanks for watching. Bye.